Welcome, friends, disciples, and devotees, to our weekly series during this time of crisis. Today, I'd like to share with you some of Mother's comments on Om. Om, of course, has been for me the guiding sound, on my music, in my choirs, and it has been the answer to the work Mother gave me to bring down a new music. This was in 1961. I worked for many years with different choirs, different groups, but I think it was about 18 years ago now when I was given the word Om to be the only word sung by the Om choir. And the power is extraordinary. So let us begin with Mother. She is speaking here to Satprem. It's interesting. When I am quiet, I hear a kind of great chant, almost a collective chant, I could say. Om Namo Bhagavate. As if all of nature went rising gesture. Om Namo Bhagavate. This was in 9 February 1972. Mother continues. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate. These three words, for me they meant, Om, I implore the Supreme Lord, Namo, obeisance to him, Bhagavate, make me divine. I noticed that the cells everywhere, constantly, all the time, were repeating Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, constantly, all the time. And Om Namo Bhagavate is repeated spontaneously and automatically in a sort of hazy peace. For me, that has the power to calm everything. This is how it happened. Y had just returned, and he brought back a trunk full of things, which he then proceeded to show me. And his excitement made tight little waves in the atmosphere, making my head ache. Anyway, it was unpleasant. When I left, just after that happened, I sat down and went like this, gesture of sweeping out to make it stop. And immediately the mantra began. It rose up from here. Mother indicates the solar plexus, like this. Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate. It was formidable. For the entire quarter of an hour that meditation lasted, everything was filled with light. In the deeper tones, it was of golden bronze. And at the throat level, it was almost red. And in the higher tones, it was a kind of opaline white light. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate. In India's languages, they have this Om, which is a marvel. You know what they say? That Om is the totality of the sounds of the creation perceived by the Supreme. He hears Om as a call to him, as an idea. It's magnificent. I always advise to let the mantra rise from the depth of the heart as a sincere aspiration. And I believe Satprem asks Mother, it occurs to me to beg thee for a key word for japa. Mother says, Om. It was at a time when there were many visitors, for the courtyard was full. And after perhaps no more than a few minutes, I suddenly heard a distinct voice coming from my right say, Om, like that. And then a second time, Om. What an impact it had upon me. I felt an emotion here towards the heart, as I have not felt for years and years and years. And all was filled with light, with something more than an invocation. And the result was fantastic. People immediately thought, oh, it's the ship. Well, even if it was a ship, it was the ship that said, Om. And then I wondered, if we were to repeat the mantra we heard the other day, Om Namo Bhagavate, during the half-hour meditation, what would happen? What would happen? With the help of Om, one can realize the divine. Om has a transforming power. Om represents the divine. I'll try to explain. You know that Om is said to be the sound of the whole universe, turned towards the Supreme, imploring the Supreme, and the result is Om. Om, Supreme Lord, God of kindness and mercy. Om, Supreme Lord, God of love and beatitude. I am tired of our infirmity, but it is not to rest that this body aspires. It aspires to the plenitude of your consciousness. It aspires to the splendor of your light. It aspires to the magnificence of your power. Above all, it aspires to the glory of your all-powerful and eternal love. This is about a gentleman, I believe in France, giving a lecture. Mother writes, all at once, in the course of his lecture, he uttered the sound Om. And I saw the entire room suddenly filled with light, a golden, vibrating light. I was probably the only one to notice it. I said to myself, well, then I didn't give it any more thought. I forgot about the story. But as it happened, the experience recurred in 2 or 3 different countries with different people. And every time there was the sound Om, I would see suddenly the place filled with that same light. So I understood. That sound contains the vibration of thousands and thousands of years of spiritual aspiration. There is in it the entire aspiration of men towards the Supreme. And the power is automatically there because the experience is there. I made an experiment, writing the letter Om. When you have written it 4, 5, 6 times, it becomes excellent. I wanted to know why you were asked to do that work and what you draw from it. So I sat down to write your yantra, and it became very living. I could see it in front of me. I kept seeing it all the while. But then I thought the very fact of writing must have an effect. Then I started writing the letter Om carefully. Well, when I came to the 4th, the 5th, it became excellent, excellent, as though it were creating a vibration. That's the power it has, an external power. What he called the light is the consciousness that came in. Mother tries to remember. It came in 1969. Oh, the new consciousness. And the other one? The other quotation is a mantra. Om Sri Aurobindo Mira. Open my mind, my heart, my life to your light, your love, your power. In all things, may I see the divine. The sound Om, for instance, awakens very special vibrations. There are other such sounds as well, but of course that one is the most powerful of all. It is an attempt to divinize material substance. At times, I almost seemed to have it. A mere nothing would have been enough. Again, a mere nothing would have been enough. It was just a matter of getting the knack. Parentheses. And at heart, this is what power is all about. To get the knack, to suddenly seize upon the means, the right vibration. What in India is called siddhi. End parentheses. Well, after his departure, again, after his departure, all of a sudden it came. It happened while I was doing my japa, while I was walking up and down my room, as if I were holding all that in my arms. It was so concrete, and lifting it up towards the light, along with this ascending Om rising from the very depths. Om! And I was carrying all these people, and it was spreading forth, physically spreading. And I was carrying the earth. I was carrying the whole universe, but in such a tangible, concrete way, all towards the Supreme Lord. Om is the signature of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate. The first word, Om, represents the supreme invocation, the invocation to the Supreme. The second word, Namo, represents total self-giving, perfect surrender. The third word, Bhagavate, represents the aspiration, what the manifestation must become, divine. When I sit in meditation, or I have a minute of quiet for concentration, this mantra arises from the solar plexus. And there is a response in the cells of the body. They all start vibrating. Everything gets filled with light. The mother. Now I have two things to close today's talk. I close with the first, which was shared with me by Dmitri von Mohrenschildt, my beloved friend of more than 40 years. And it is written in Mother's hand, given to him. The light is everywhere. The force is everywhere. And the world is so small. 26:2:58. And lastly, from Sri Aurobindo, on 18 July 1936, found in his letters on yoga. Be sure that the mother will always be with you, to carry you upon the path. Difficulties come and difficulties go, but she being with you, the victory is sure. Namaste all.